How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today we're talking about Workhorse. I'm going to tell you about the Q3 earnings, what I'm going to be looking for because they are coming up on Monday. I'm going to be talking about that. I'm also going to be talking about a program that Biden has talked about and why I think it could give us some insights into him pushing for Workhorse to get the USPS contract. So I'm going to cover all that. If you guys like this, please leave a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I haven't made a Workhorse video in a few days, so all the love is appreciated. Also, if you want 3 free stocks from WeBull, you can get the link down in the description. It helps out the channel, and you can get some nice free stocks too. I got a really expensive stock just yesterday of $140, so definitely check that out. You could get one too. So Workhorse is up pretty significantly on the week, down today about 3%, but over the week we are up about 10%, 8%. So we've seen a lot of fluctuation with the EV market because of the elections, and I think it's really important to keep our heads on straight with the upcoming Q3 earnings call on Monday. So this call is going to take place November 9, so Monday, and it's going to take place at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So I will definitely do a video afterwards talking about it, but I did want to go over Q2 and show you the report that we got a couple months ago to kind of show you what I am looking for in the next earnings call. So if we take a look in Q2, they said that they were beginning production and delivery of 3 C-Series electric step vans to Ryder. I want to see them continue to increase their production. They have said that their delivery target is 300 to 400 vehicles in 2020. Their CFO has talked about how they're still on pace to hit that, and he said that over a couple interviews recently. So I want to see them get, 10 to 50 vehicles out there. I mean, they have to increase production here soon because we are into the final quarter of the year. So I want to see them increase their deliveries. Now, we probably will see them lose money, negative earnings per share. That's pretty certain. So hopefully they can not lose too much, but I'm not really concerned about that. That's not something that I really will care about. I'm going to be looking at their production numbers, looking at if they have any insights into the USPS contract, if they have anything else that they kind of talk about. I think that that's going to be more important, whether it's new contracts with, any other companies or whether it's just higher production numbers. That's much more important than how much cash they're burning through or anything like that, because for Workhorse, it's all about the USPS contract. Now, some people will see that they have negative earnings per share and kind of get worried, but I think that, again, if you are in this stock, you realize that it's a speculative stock. You're looking for the USPS, you're looking for other contracts. So that's what's important right now. So besides that, I wanted to hit on the fact that there was something that Biden talked about that will be really good for Workhorse. This is something that is going to be really important as the election is winding down. If Biden becomes president, this is going to be really important. So he said this back in July of 2020. 2 things. First of all, he announced a cash for clunkers type plan to offer incentives or rebates to people to replace gasoline-powered vehicles with electric vehicles. So this is more on the consumer side, not necessarily on Workhorse's side, but this is really important for like Lordstown Motors, right? So people that want to go and trade in their vehicle, they might be able to get $3,000 to $5,000 in these rebates and tax incentives. That's going to be pretty important if they can cut down by about 10% the cost of these new vehicles. And Workhorse owns 10% of Lordstown Motors. So that's kind of important right there, right? And then the other thing is, right underneath it, Biden also announced he wants to replace the United States government fleet with US-made electric vehicles to help spur demand. So if you remember who is in the running for this, there are 3 companies. The first company obviously is Workhorse. They're offering this EV, so they are based out of Loveland, Ohio. The second company, which actually jumped out of the race, they dropped out, was Mahindra. They offered a mild hybrid powertrain option. Now, the third company, actually the second company that's still in the race, is Carson, which is from Turkey. They make commercial electric vehicles, and they're teamed up with USPS supplier Morgan Olson from Sturgis, Michigan. So they're offering a plug-in hybrid engine option. That's not exactly US made, or maybe it is because they're teaming up, but it is a hybrid option. And then the final company is Oshkosh, which is teaming up with Ford. Now, they are obviously here in Michigan also. They are going to offer an ICE vehicle. so internal combustion engine. They are not looking at EV options. If we go back to what Biden said, he wanted to replace the government's fleet with US-made vehicles to help spur demand. Now, going back to the vehicles, first of all, Turkey-based Carson, obviously not US-made. The other company on here, Oshkosh of Wisconsin, they're teaming up with Ford, but they're only offering an ICE vehicle. Neither of those are what Biden's saying that he wants. Well, Workhorse fits exactly the mold that Biden wants. Now, whether this actually matters, whether what Biden says and wants actually matters for the USPS decision, we don't really know. I mean, USPS could have already made their decision and just not come out and told us all. And they have said before, too, that they want to break this down a couple different ways. So they want a couple different companies to get part of the contract. But with the way that the world is going, with Biden kind of showing his influence and him showing what he wants out of the government fleets and out of where he wants to push the economy and push where we're going as a nation, it's obvious that he's pushing towards more companies like Workhorse that are fully EV and based out of America. And, you know, even if we don't see that materialize in the USPS decision, or even if it didn't really matter what he said because he wasn't president yet, or, you know, the USPS is separate from the presidency anyways, either way, it's good to see the president pushing for things like EV when you're investing in EV companies, obviously, because that could influence other companies down the road. That could help them get bigger contracts, other contracts. I mean, we've talked about this before, that this contract is only worth about $1.2 billion. And Workhorse has said the last mile delivery market is about $18 billion a year. So this contract only represents about 1/15 of the annual revenue for these final mile delivery vehicles. So that is something that I think is very important to take into consideration when you're looking at what Biden has said and where we are pushing as a nation. And then just going back to those Q3 earnings and kind of my price prediction on what's going to happen after those earnings. Some people might be looking at this and saying, well, they didn't increase their production enough. Some people might be still worried about the election, or, you know, the stock could take off Monday if they have something that they report that's good in their Q3 earnings, like increased production. So Monday will be a very important date for Workhorse. It's going to be really important for the stock. I'm going to cover it on Monday, so definitely be on the lookout for that. I could see it going up 10, 20%. I could also see it going down 10, 20%. Now, we haven't seen it really go down below about $15 a share since it started its run up. So it's really stuck at $15. It hasn't really gone down below that. So if we do go down, I don't see it going down much more than maybe 10, 15%. Let me know your thoughts below. I appreciate it. If you guys want, you can sign up with that link down below to WeBull. You should definitely get those free stocks. And I'm going to show you a video here you should definitely click on NNDM and why ARK Invest is investing in this penny stock and why it went up 28% yesterday. So definitely check that out. Thanks.